Hey y'all, hey, it's Albany from Our Children's LLC. So before we get into anything, don't forget I have an event going on March 23rd, 1611 Catherine Street, MLK Library in New Orleans. Also, don't forget that I'm giving away 2 plus size prom dresses. And also, don't forget any two parents that come in, they get 50% off their first session. So like these videos, share these videos, also comment. So today we're going to get into how to run a proper team business with losses and gains. Last Thursday, I ran into a few teenagers that wanted to go into business, and I ran into a teenager that already had a business, but she wasn't running her books properly. So, y'all stay with me because I'm going to run through this kind of fast, but I'm going to repeat everything. All right. So if you are a young entrepreneur and you already have a business, but you're not keeping up with your books, you got to keep up with your books. Okay. You got to keep up with your books. And, great part is you don't have to pay taxes. You don't have to pay taxes right now. You know why? Because you still living at home with your mama. I wish I was still living at home with my mama and under 18 and didn't have no pay no taxes. I could like file exempt and stuff. So listen, this is what's going on with her. Okay, so she's a hairstylist and she was she was posting on Instagram. So I gave her a few tips. I was like, girl, you should have an Instagram. You should have a Facebook. You should have a YouTube. You should have, what's that y'all call it? Snapchat. I heard somebody else say you should have a Kick. You should have all of that. There was a girl that walked in and knew her and asked her to get her hair done. Another thing you should have if you are a young entrepreneur and you're a teenager, you should have business cards. Business cards. Instagram is not enough. It's not enough weight. You should have business cards. You should be passing them out at school when you on the street. And if you're a hairstylist, you should always have your hair snap. Okay? It should be always slick back, slide back. If you're a young barber, your hair should always be cut up and straight. If you're a mechanic and you bought tools, keep your receipt. That's another thing. She wasn't keeping her receipts. She was throwing them away. I told her, baby, you're losing money. So let's talk about that. How to properly keep your books. Okay, it ain't January, but stay with me. I'm going to lead you somewhere. So I may lose these names later on, but if you have somebody like Jimmy and Jane and Tamika, and say they all came in and they needed their hair done and it all costs $100 each, but your overhead is $400, right? Stay with me. Your overhead is $400 and your clients just only paid you $300 for January, but it was $100 each. I explained to her she should have 3 books. One for her clients, and have how much they paid. One for mileage, and one for that she can add up at the end of the month. So she can have January. I made this much and I spent this much. Then you subtract the two. Subtract how much you spent. That include all your overhead. And subtract how much you made. Your overhead, since you're still living with your parents, your overhead probably be, as a hairstylist, a brush, a comb, some grease, or a hair dryer. Now, let's get into the business. Her overhead is $400. Her clients is 3. 4 from 3 leave $100. You in a negative, boo. You are in a negative. And how are you in a negative? Your overhead is $400. Your clients is $300. that you made. You didn't make enough to cover your overhead. In business, you in a negative. If you subtracted, you may think you made some money like $100, but you didn't. You didn't make enough to cover your overhead. Let me go over that again. Your overhead is everything you bought. If you was doing business outside of your house, you probably had to have business insurance and all of that. But that's everything you bought. Whether it was a brush, a comb, some grease, some bobby pins, everything you bought. Fellas, if you're doing a little mechanic work, some tools, your uniform, everything you bought. Everything. And your clients, you only made $300. 4 from 3 is $100. But you didn't make enough that month to cover your overhead. So you in a negative. If you get a negative number, you lost money. Because your overhead is 4 and you only made how much? $300. So you in a negative $100. Now, let's redo that. If your clientele, let's just say you made $5,000 from your clientele. You had a good month. It's February now. You had a good month. You made $5,000. And your overhead is still $400. We don't really have to do the math, do we? You can cover your overhead. But do you go spend that extra money? No, you reinvested in your business. Because you might have another January month. But you have the money that's in your business account. You have your money in your business account in case you have another January month to cover that. That's what you do. Keep your receipts. That's how you know and keep track of what you're spending. Keep a book for your mileage. Promote your work. Post it. Since social media is the lead way of marketing now, post it. Post it. Post it. Post it. And once you start posting what you do, you got to be careful how you walking around here now. Because people see you as a business owner. And that's really all I had to say. So when you see one, teach one. Bye, y'all. Share this. Comment.